Hey everyone, this is Sunny Justice from It's a Crime and Shame. In this video, we are going to be talking about Danelo Cavalcante. He is an escaped prisoner out of Pennsylvania from the Chester County Prison. Now, he escaped on August 31st. There was a press conference today, and I'm going to show you a news media and give you some good coverage about this case. So let's get into it. Oh, wait, one more thing. Could you please hit that like and the share button? And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscription button. Now let's get into it.
Escaped from prison. Authorities in Pennsylvania say there have been new sightings as they widen their search perimeter. Trevor Alt is on the scene for us with more. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Michael. So this convicted killer has not disappeared without a trace. In fact, there's been several traces of them, a half dozen now confirmed sightings. But this search continues to take hold of this community with a massive law enforcement presence, road closures, and this morning some schools are closed once again. This morning, authorities are escalating their efforts in search of escaped murderer Danelo Cavalcante. Overnight, a swarm of activity from officers, aerial surveillance, and canine units responding to possible footprints in the woods. Authorities releasing these photos of the most recent confirmed sighting captured on a trail camera late Monday night.
The photos confirm that Cavalcante has not changed his appearance, but also that he has obtained a backpack, a duffel sling-type pack, and a hooded sweatshirt.
The photos mark the sixth time Cavalcante has been spotted since escaping Chester County Prison last Thursday, and the first time he managed to slip past law enforcement's search perimeter. Authorities now shifting their search efforts south, still confident they have Cavalcante contained.
That pressure that we've been putting on him is working, and he was not able to get any relief and managed to find a place to get out.
The investigation into how Cavalcante escaped the prison is ongoing, but the Philadelphia Inquirer reports a source inside the prison told the paper he climbed onto a roof, ran across it, and jumped down to a less secure area with a surveillance blind spot. The source reportedly says a different inmate used the same method to escape in May. Officials at the prison did not respond to ABC's request for comment, and both Pennsylvania police and the district attorney's office declined to comment. They've been saying from the beginning they're focusing their efforts on capturing Cavalcante.
He's a bad guy. He needs to be in custody, and we're determined to capture him. I'm confident that he will slip up. We're making him move, and that's a good thing.
And the criminal complaint for the previous inmate who escaped this prison says he was able to access the roof from the exercise yard, and then he ran out past a security station, but he was captured within a matter of hours. Danelo Cavalcante, and the search for him is now entering its seventh day. Rebecca?
Incredible to see all of those images and sightings. Okay, Trevor, thank you.
But first, I know you all and the public have had a number of questions about the actual escape made by Cavalcante. I'm going to turn this over to Acting Warden Holland to talk about that. I'd ask that following his remarks, you hold any questions until the end of our briefing, and we will be happy to take questions at that time.
So good afternoon. I am Howard Holland, the Acting Warden of the Chester County Prison. I'm here today to provide preliminary details of the escape of Danelo Cavalcante. Let me begin by addressing the escape of Igor Bolt, which the media has been reporting on. Igor Bolt, which escaped on May 19th of this year. This escape was similar to the methodology of the escape by Cavalcante, and the escape by Igor Bolt allowed the prison to identify a deficiency in the exterior exercise yard where the escape occurred. This is also the same area, the escape yard, where Cavalcante was located prior to his escape. The exercise yard improvements undertaken after Bolt's escape were intended to address the escape route from the yard to the roof area. Security consultants were brought in, and improvements were based on the consultants' findings by a contracted security service. The improvement consisted of additional razor wire being placed in the yard area at the wall where the escape occurred to block access to the roof. The escape of Cavalcante is not just being internally investigated. Because it is in criminal nature, it is also being investigated by the State Attorney General's office. The video of Cavalcante's escape has been turned over to the criminal investigators. I will review the exact timeline and show a video of Cavalcante's escape from the exercise yard at the end of my remarks, but can confirm that it does show that Cavalcante escaped at the same location as Igor Bolt, but for Cavalcante, there was razor wire to contend with before reaching the roof. Secondly, Chester County Prison uses proven countermeasure security that are an industry standard. For example, high fencing, razor or barbed wire, secure doors or gates with sally ports to control movement, video cameras, and most importantly, correctional officers, all of which were in place and remain in place. One of the issues brought to light as we conduct our internal investigations on Cavalcante's escape is that once the additional razor wire had been added to the escape route, following Igor Bolt's escape in May, it was determined by our security advisors that this one level of security was sufficient. In fact, what was perhaps overlooked was the fact that addressing the single point of physical countermeasure should have been bolstered by additional means. We are addressing that. On Tuesday afternoon, yesterday, we had engineers from Trans Systems, a company which was selected by Lancaster County to design their new prison, brought on site. They are developing proposals for the prison board to fully enclose all outside exercise yards. While we believe the security measures we had in place were sufficient, they've proven otherwise, and we move quickly to enhance our security measures. Finally, I'd like to cover the human element of the escape. One key difference in the escape by Igor Bolt as compared with the escape of Cavalcante is the role of the tower officer, whose primary responsibility is to oversee the inmates in the exercise yard. In Bolt's escape, the tower officer observed the subject leaving the yard area and contacted control immediately. That is why Bolt was apprehended within 5 minutes. In the escape of Cavalcante, the tower officer did not observe nor report the escape. The escape was discovered as part of the inmate counts that occurs when inmates come in from the exercise yard. As I previously noted, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office will be conducting a thorough criminal investigation into the escape, which includes this element of the incident. This investigation is both necessary and welcome. The action of the tower officer present at the time of Cavalcante's escape are a key part of our internal investigation, and we'll be taking appropriate action against personnel based on the results of that investigation. Here is the timeline of the events. At 8:33 a.m., Cavalcante's block entered the exercise yard. At 8:51 a.m., Cavalcante escapes from the prison, having crab walked up a wall, push his way through a razor wire, run across a roof, scale another fence, and push his way through more razor wire. At 9:35 a.m., Cavalcante's block returned to the unit from the yard. At 9:45 a.m., officers on Cavalcante's block notify Central Control of a missing inmate, and they conduct a special count. At 9:48 a.m., officers informed Central Control that Cavalcante was not there. There was a belief that he may have been in a phone visiting room, which was checked with negative results. At 9:50 a.m., the prison was locked down and the special count was conducted. By 10:01 a.m., the public escape siren had sounded and the 911 center had been notified. Just as we do in any security-related incident, we will thoroughly review all of our practices, policies, and procedures and make improvements as appropriate. We are currently formulating plans to enhance security to include, as previously mentioned, fully enclosing all outside exercise yards, installing additional security cameras, adjusting officers' positions when inmates are in exercise yards, and additional security assets which would enhance overall security of the prison. As I close, I would definitely like to thank my local, federal, state, and law enforcement representatives who quickly responded to the scene once the escape was there. I know they have been diligently working to take Mr. Cavalcante back into custody, and we are very appreciative of their efforts. At this time, due to the nature of the investigations that are ongoing, I cannot comment on any individual investigation, including the internal investigations. With that, I'd like to turn it over back to Colonel Booth.